Good afternoon. Just barely good afternoon. This is LA Prepper here, and I'm gonna do a quick video response to Huples Cat. He wrote a long comment to my VR where I was talking about there's so many things going on right now. I'm trying to read the comment to a video. Okay, prepping sustainability. Gotcha. So I'm doing a video response to a comment on my video response to Huples' video. Lord, the circles that I create for myself. Okay, so let's start with what he's talking about in the video. So there's okay, so I'm going to duplicate this page again and take a quick look at the link that he posted. I was going to say the link that he linked. That's bad. Bad English. Oh, I think that was the link to his video. Yeah, okay. Anyways. Debt. Debt is a bad idea. So I have a little experience with debt. I'm not going to talk about it right now. Debt is bad. You should try to avoid debt and get out of debt. The only time, in my opinion, that debt is not to be avoided is if it is going to be part of a long-term kind of wealth plan, either maybe some passive income or long-term wealth, and as far as collecting assets, like if you're going to buy property in the country and you're going to live there, most people don't want to rent forever, so going into debt to buy property in the country, maybe not the most awful thing in the world to do. I might talk about that a little bit later, but is it going into debt to buying a car a good idea? You know, let's not make this video all about debt, but generally speaking, in fact, I was just watching a video of Pastor Joe and Viking Preparedness. I was going to say his channel name's not Pastor Joe, but his prepper channel, Viking Preparedness. He's talking about, I bought this truck for $700. I bought this other one for, a few $100. I paid a little bit more for my car. I don't know how I feel about that these days, but I haven't spent a lot of money on it. It's been good to me. I use it all the time. I've used it to make money. It's probably almost paid for itself. But anyways, debt is bad. Try to avoid debt. I agree. Health insurance, spare cash. Talking about preppers and how they prepare, whether or not they're buying stuff or whether or not they're sustainable. Local parks, like places to kind of guerrilla garden after shit hits the fan. Roof of my apartment. Look, theoretically I could put stuff up on the roof of my apartment. The only thing is my landlords are going to be weird about it, and I'm not trying to stay here that long, Huples, to be honest. I'm trying to get the hell out of this apartment, move to a part of California that's a little bit cheaper, get a full-time job somewhere where I'm closer to being able to look at some land, even if it's not like somewhere to move forever, at least somewhere to move in the meantime, because I just have so much downtime. Even if I was working full-time, there's just so much downtime that I can't, I could be improving land that I own. If I owned land, I could be growing crops, I could be building stuff, I could be, doing something productive. In an apartment, it's so hard to be productive, it really is. You can do stuff, you can be profitable, but, I'm not trying to build an online business, I'm trying to build, like, real world value, so. Being 100% sustainable is near impossible, it's true. And for me, it's not like the ultimate end. I mean, it is the ultimate end goal, but it's not something I'm trying to do, tomorrow. If I could be 95% sustainable in a few years or 90% sustainable, I would be feel much better about kind of winding down the whole, you know, spending a lot of time and energy on prepping, because once you have enough food to feed yourself, and let's say you could put a month's worth of food away, I don't know, every month. It's a lot of food, right? But let's say every month you could put maybe even a week's worth of food away. I don't know how that works. I don't know how big your garden has to be to save a month's worth of food every month. Let's say a half a month of food every month. So in a year you could save 6 months of food. That's a good question. How much food do you have to put away? I mean, if you're growing as much food as you need to eat, what an interesting concept. I mean, would you want to grow 5 weeks of food every month, 6 weeks of food every month? I would personally love to grow 2 months of food every month, so that every month I'm either selling a month of food or I'm storing some of it. You know, maybe I'm storing a couple weeks worth so that I have 2 years and 2 weeks worth of food, and then next month I have, 2 years and 3 weeks worth of food. I don't know. I don't know how many years of food you want to store versus how much food you want to be able to produce on a regular basis. I mean, you got to spend all the time and energy dealing with all that stuff at any rate. Food takes space, canning stuff costs money, nothing for nothing. You might prefer to have a couple years of food stored up and, barter off or sell off that food and use that resource to do something else, up to you. But preppers doing a lot of hoarding, not a lot of skills, waving gun at the screens. Yeah, try not to do that. I mean, if a firearm's a tool, like anything. It's a tool for home defense. It's a tool for hunting, and it can be a recreational tool like a frisbee. Some people go to the range like other people play ultimate frisbee. Talk about like food, different types of food to store. I'm going to go back to his comment about skills in a moment. Talking about a filter, not having to buy a bottle of water. Yeah, I know. It's 25 cents to refill those bottles. I'm really not buying that many bottles of water. I'm only buying the bottle of water from the 99-cent store because the containers, you go to Walmart, you're going to pay 15 to 20 bucks for a 5-gallon container of water. So I'd rather go to the 99-cent store, get 5 gallons of water for $5 than refill them for a quarter. So I just look at it as a container to store water. Plus, if I ever did want to barter water, I have it in nice gallon containers. Mung beans, like Creed. It was not a typical message, but I honestly feel like going green, reusing, and repurposing are skills preppers need to embrace now, no matter what the economic circumstance. Absolutely, Huples, and thank you for closing on such a important important wrap up of your comment, which I don't think I really gave. Perhaps I didn't do it as much justice as I should have, but I did my best. Going green, reusing, repurposing. And I'm going to talk a little bit about skills too. Going green, I think every little step helps, right? You don't have to be completely off grid, but if you can start just charging your phone, maybe start charging a couple power tools with some solar, it's a step in the right direction. And one thing about humans is that we build momentum, right? Just like physics. You start doing one solar thing, then you're going to say, okay, this is kind of cool. I could get another solar panel. I can hook this up, then I can get another solar panel. And oh, okay, now I'm going to do a bigger system, and I'm going to get a bigger charge controller, and I'm going to do more stuff. And now I can power this saw, and that's cool because now I'll have power tools when the power goes out, and all this stuff, right? So same with water. You might start with just a little bit of gray water recycling, or just a little bit of rainwater collection, and then you can kind of move up to maybe having a pond on your property, or a pond's kind of a big deal, but you see what I'm saying, step by step. So even though you don't have to become sustainable, and you don't have to start a homestead overnight, you can definitely be thinking about ways to reduce, reuse, and recycle in the now, because it's going to put you in that mindset of not needing to go to the store, like building a bed frame for your own mattress, or building a desk when you need a desk, rather than going to IKEA and spending $100 on a piece of garbage that's, held together with these little rinky-dink screws and bolts and such. I built this desk for materials that are 100% salvaged, aside from the screws and the lag screws, which I think I spent like $3 on. So do you want to spend $100 on a desk or $3 on a desk? It's kind of up to you. The printer, getting the printer at a garage sale, this beautiful piece of junk at a garage sale for $5 when my laser printer crapped out, rather than going out and spending $100 on a new one. This thing came with like 4 ink cartridges too. So every little bit, buying used clothes, mending new clothes. There's probably people in this state that if they tore their sweatpants, maybe they would give them away, maybe they would throw them away. I don't know. I grabbed a needle and thread and I fixed them because I just bought them less than a year ago. I'm not going to give them away. I need these damn things to be comfy when I'm doing my homework in the apartment, right? So Huples, I definitely appreciate your thoughtful comment. I don't think I would give myself a really good grade for reducing, reusing, and going green right now. Riding my bicycle around helps a little bit. I do try to not buy, brand new products all the time. The stuff that I'm buying brand new at the moment is mostly just maybe firearms, ammo, or groceries. Maybe a tool here and there. But otherwise, clothes, tools, products for around the house, books, I'm getting a lot of used stuff, and I'm perfectly happy with used stuff. I'm of the opinion that you should be able to, that you should find things of value, find things that work, find things that are quality, and try to get as much use out of them as you can. Like my 10-year-old laptop, like my $40 bicycle that has some kind of serious issues that make it a little bit annoying at times, but at the same time, I don't need to go out and buy a $300 bicycle. I'm not going to be that much faster. It's not going to be that much cooler. So why spend that extra money? I would rather spend that money saving up on a down payment so I can buy some land, right? That's kind of my next big purchase. I got to be honest. I have a vehicle that works. The next big purchase is going to be land, or land with a house. And pretty much everything until then is going to be 100% focused on getting that property, because once I have that property, then I can start putting my energy into living a more sustainable life. I don't have a wood stove here, so I'm always going to be relying on some third party to process natural gas, ship it to my house, spend all that energy to send me the natural gas, when I might just need a little bit of wood stove and, I don't know, third or a quarter of a cord of wood a month or something in winter. If I had a wood stove here, I wouldn't use it very much at all. But power, being able to go solar on power, a lot easier while I'm homesteading rather than, at the apartment. Food wise, a lot easier to, now growing a garden is difficult, but growing a garden at a piece of property is a lot easier than growing a garden in an apartment. So relative difficulty sometimes we're talking about. At any rate, I'm kind of getting off topic, but appreciate the comment, Huples. Definitely looking forward to being more sustainable, more green, and using less resources in the future. Why do you think I like motorcycles so much? I don't know if a lot of my YouTube viewers know this, but I'm kind of a motorcycle nut, and it breaks my heart a little bit right now that I don't have one, but motorcycles are pretty good on the gas. 40, 50, 60 miles a gallon for the smaller displacement two-strokes versus my car. I'm getting 18, 20 miles a gallon, maybe a little bit less in the city. So anyways, until then, like, comment, subscribe, and appreciate those long, thoughtful comments. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.